Kathleen, you are transitioning here. You're ending your tenure as the executive director of Mechanics Hall, and from an historical point of view, I think only one of 4 executive directors of kind of this iconic hall.
That's right.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about transition and your I'm sure mixed emotions.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is very mixed emotions, and it's an interesting point that the next executive director will be the 5th. We're only 2 years away from the 50th anniversary of the restoration of the hall, which I think is probably surprising for a lot of people to hear, but I've been there for 30 of those years. And so, it's really a very special place in Worcester. And, I say history's made there every day because, and of course we hold the stories in our walls of everything Worcester, from the golden age of the beginning of the Industrial Revolution to the dark days, as I call them, when industry was failing. And so the hall was misused or interestingly used.
Neglected, yes.
And then for the restoration period. And so, it's hard, I think, sometimes for the newer generations of people who don't know the backstory of the hall to understand that we are a private, nonprofit organization and always have been. We don't have city money, except fortunately this year we got some ARPA funds, which helped us through renegotiating the world after COVID. And but our lifeblood is to preserve the incredible history of the space and the beauty of it. Our donors and users, our partners who present, who use the hall like the Chamber does for important events, and our recording folks. So
So Amy, that's part of your role, right? To make sure people are in the building, utilizing it, generating some revenue. You want to talk about how you do that?
Absolutely. Essentially, I'm an ambassador to the constituencies and the communities in Worcester and across Worcester County and beyond into central Massachusetts. Entities, organizations, individuals, they use the hall for milestones, personal, public milestones, large milestones, small milestones. That's one of our partner types. We're really dependent on our partners. Those we consider our community partners. Presenting partners. Performances are the backbone, of course, of Mechanics Hall because of the well-known acoustics in the Great Hall.
Internationally acclaimed.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Continue to bring us absolutely world-class performances. And then, of course, our supporting partners, as Kathy mentioned, some of whom end up utilizing the hall for both personal and business events as well.
Yeah, and a number of venues within the venue, right? So can host events and organizations and businesses large and small.
Absolutely. People are always sure we've got the iconic Great Hall and the statuesque organ, right? But we also have Washburn Hall. Is just such a special space. Thoreau has spoken on that stage. Walden spoke on that stage. So it's emblematic of like every space you move in that hall is just echoing with the sounds of history. And when people utilize the hall, whether they're patrons who come in to watch a performance, or the kids that'll be there tonight for their graduation, they can't help, I think, but take in the grandeur of that and the those that have come before them and those that'll come after. Right.
Well said. And arts and cultural kind of heartbeat of the city downtown. And you mentioned kind of the history echoing off the walls. Well, that takes some toll sometimes with events. And part of the challenge of an historic building is kind of maintaining it. And that's why some of the support that you get from sponsors, events, contributors, donors is really important to kind of maintain that.
Exactly. It's always hard to raise arts and culture money, and it's even harder at this moment. And it will be, again, in the future. So, it's critically important, and we're having a fundraiser my retirement's an excuse to gather people in the hall one more time to celebrate how amazing its story is and how it affects and touches the lives of so many people. It's still an inspirational space, which was it's the intent of the mechanics who built it for education,
Right.
and for cultural activity. So, we're here to say, please come, June 13th. June
Yeah.
13th, right? Yeah.
June
Yep.
13th,
Right.
part music, part celebration,
Yeah.
and people can kind of see the whole building, and special event program with the Mechanics Hall Youth Singers.
Yes, yeah. One of my very proud accomplishments is to create the Mechanics Hall Youth Singers. It's a free program, no audition required for 4th to 8th graders. We've expanded the footprint of the number of students who can participate, and we have a festival-style concept right now, which includes a few rehearsals, literally 3 or 4 rehearsals in the fall, and then a performance in the Great Hall, and then we duplicate that in the spring. It's just so wonderful to have these kiddos in our space, claiming it as their own.
Right.
Which was really my overall goal,
Right.
was to make them feel comfortable and make some friends and some music in the Great Hall. That's not a traditional choir. They sing contemporary music. The last concert we had with them in the spring, they sang in 3 parts in 3 languages.
Wow.
And so our artistic director, Reagan Peras, has just been a tremendous asset to that program, and the parents are thrilled about it. So you'll get to hear them June 13th, at least some of them anyway.
Right.
June's a tough month,
Yeah,
for kids, but we'll have a good portion of them to come and sing.
Right, and they can claim their piece, right, of the history
Absolutely.
that Amy referred to, not only with the portraits of
Yeah.
famous people that were present and
Yeah.
spoke or performed, but also when you're coming off of Main Street, you see all the names of different performers over the years. So, yeah. So if someone's looking to learn more, book an event, or understand what events are coming up, how can they get in touch and also learn about the June 13th event?
The most important event that's coming up is the June 13th event. We want to make sure it's, incredibly robust for 2 reasons. One, we want to reflect the legacy that Kathy has created. And among the things that Kathy has achieved in her tenure is an impressive sound and light upgrade and installation with the help of our supporting partners at Revelation, incredible sound and light company. And the reason why that's important is it ensures that Mechanics Hall stays relevant and modernized, right? We can't just rest on our remarkable history. We have to be a world-class space today. And that requires the support of the community to come out, buy a ticket, 5 performances, $50, right? It's going to be an absolutely epic time.
Okay, and the website where they can go?
mechanicshall.org.